I did a 3-day water fast. Here's what happened, and am I going to go on any longer? 3 days, no food, just water and coffee and a bit of bone broth. Sounds a bit bonkers? Right, if you're new to my channel, my name's Emma Voysey. I'm a health coach and I help people regain energy and regain body confidence and their health through real food and lifestyle changes. Today I'm taking you through my 3-day fast. That's 72 hours, 3 days. I last ate a meal on Sunday and we are now on Wednesday, nearly the evening. The highs, the lows, and some of the science behind why fasting is so powerful. And trust me, it's not just about weight loss. So if you've ever thought about fasting, or you've got experience of fasting yourself longer than just intermittent fasting for like 16/8, which is what most people do, drop me a comment below. Please let me know what your experience was or your experience is with fasting, and let's start a conversation. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more real, no-nonsense health content from me. So why did I decide to go for 3 full days without any food? So first, because I wanted to challenge myself, but more importantly, I wanted to experience firsthand the benefits of prolonged fasting that so many experts talk about. Because a year ago, when I started my reclaiming my health, like really reclaiming my health, seriously getting into it journey, even the idea of a 24-hour fast filled me with doom because I found it so difficult. So many experts talk about autophagy, fat burning, stem cell regeneration, immune rebooting, reclaiming your sleep patterns. I mean, the science is just wild about fasting, and there's a lot of it out there. So there's plenty of evidence to show us or to explain to us why fasting is a good thing to do. We're so used to constantly eating that we've forgotten what our bodies are actually capable of. Let me turn away from the sun, that would be a good idea. It's so bright. And as a woman in her mid-50s, I'm here to show you that it's never too late to take control of your health. Another reason why I picked this week to do this fast was my husband Simon's away. I usually fast. My kind of fasting pattern is I usually stop eating on a Sunday after my late lunch or early dinner, and I push through to Monday, and sometimes I go into Tuesday. So I tend to do 24 hours to 36 hours. But this week, because Simon's away, I just thought maybe I can go on to 3 days. Maybe I can push right through to lunchtime today. And I had a girls' lunch today down in Andorra la Vella. So I was going to break my fast at 2 o'clock, but I decided in the end, I went to the lunch and I just drank sparkling water and I had a peppermint tea. And that's not, you can do super wide, it's like a GoPro. Yeah. So you can do super wide. It's not, but it's an Osmo Action 5. DJI Osmo Action 5. So somebody recommended it on it.
So cool.
And
explain to me, what do you do with that? You record it?
So it's a video recorder. And you can record on it all day. The battery life's really good. Wow. Stop go on recommendations. But it's such a good picture. Wow. And because I'm not hungry at all by this point, we've gone 3 days, I just thought, well, I'll just keep going. And because when you get to 72 hours of fasting, then the stem cell regeneration benefits start to kick in. And I just thought, that's too good to miss. And this is too good an opportunity whilst I'm on my own in the apartment, whilst it's just Mikey and me to see where I can get to. So I thought, good opportunity. I was going to do 48 hours anyway. And then I thought, well, why not try for 3 days, which seemed on Sunday when I started this fast, seemed quite a long way off, and I wasn't sure I could do it, but I was going to finished today at 2 p.m. this afternoon, but it's now, I'm not sure, oh, hang on, I do actually have a watch on today. It is now 5:10 on Wednesday. So I'm going to break down what happened over the last 3 days so that I can share the whole experience with you. So day one was the mental battle. Hunger wasn't too bad. I'm used to fasting 24 hours, so mostly just those habitual cravings. Energy felt quite normal, but a bit foggy in the afternoon. Biggest struggle was just, it's always just breaking the habit of eating at certain times. I usually eat breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner. I tend to mix it up a bit depending on what I'm doing. And mindset shift. This is more mental than physical. I'm not actually starving. There's always, you have to keep telling yourself, I'm not actually starving. It wasn't that long ago that I just ate. Day two, the energy starts to drop. Day two was yesterday, and I woke up feeling fine, but then by the afternoon, I was really flagging and I really nearly gave up. I really felt a bit crap in the afternoon. The headache really, as you start to mobilise toxins, your body's starting to use up your fat stores for energy. You've switched over into fat burning mode, and you know it starts to get a bit headachy as the toxins come out. Had that energy crash, really wanted to go to sleep, but I didn't. And that was my body switching into this fat burning mode. By the evening, new burst of energy, took Mikey out for a walk, ketones were kicking in, and I had no hunger whatsoever. So that was a big surprise, because I really thought the first night I was a bit wakeful, but last night slept brilliantly. Slept really solidly for the first half of the night, woke up for a bit, a little bit restless, lay on my spiky mat, my Shakti mat, got back to sleep and slept right through to this morning. So, realisation, I'm actually more in control of this than I thought I was. I'm in control of my body more than I thought. Day three, this is day three we're on now, the clarity and the strength. I woke up feeling sharp and clear-headed and totally fine. No cravings, no weakness, just steady energy. There's this perception that as you fast, you just get weaker and weaker, and of course you just don't get weaker and weaker. Otherwise, our ancestors would have all died out, because they wouldn't have been able to hunt for food if there wasn't any food, and there continued to not be any food because there would have been gaps where there wasn't anything to eat. Then they'd have crawled up into a little ball in a cave somewhere and died, and we wouldn't be sitting here today having this conversation. Went on a big dog walk at lunchtime today, walked all the way down to Andorra, Andorra la Vella, which is our capital city, and it's about, from where I live in La Massana, it's about 7.5 kilometres. Felt great. Went to the Mac store for some advice on new foundations, so that was nice, and then went for lunch with some girlfriends. But I decided at that point, or I'd kind of already decided, I was feeling so good, I decided I would go on. If I could, I wouldn't eat lunch, and I'd go on to day four. So here we are now. So at 2 o'clock this afternoon, I reached that 72-hour, 3-day mark, which was such a milestone for me, because I've never managed to do that before. So by now, my body is fully in deep autophagy. Autophagy meaning your body is self-cleaning. It's digesting waste matter instead of food, which normally comes in. So it's switched over into this state called autophagy, which starts from 17 hours after you ate the last bite of food. But, you know, really it takes a couple of days to get into really deep autophagy. And by the time you get to 72 hours, you are in stem cell production mode. Stem cells? I mean, people pay thousands for stem cell therapy, and you can do it for free. You can get it for free just by not eating anything. That is just, I find that, like, I want to do a backflip. That's so amazing. I'm not going to do a backflip just here because there's a big cliff behind me. So the lunchtime was a bit of a challenge, but actually, because I didn't feel hungry, I don't think I've ever sat in a restaurant before and just been quite happy not to eat anything. I drank my Vichy Catalan mineral water with lemon in it, and he brought me a peppermint tea, and that was lovely. Slight headache, but apart from that, everything else is feeling great. So let's have a look at the science behind why fasting works. But we're going to make it easy and understandable, so nothing too complicated here. So what is actually happening inside my body during this prolonged fast? Let's break it down. 12 to 24 hours, the first stage, you're just burning through glycogen, which is your stored sugar, which is stored in your muscles. And then you're gradually shifting into fat burning mode, but it doesn't happen immediately. And when you think that most people don't stop eating for more than the time they're asleep, it's part of the reason why we have such an obesity crisis, is that people just eat all the time, as I said already. 24 to 48 hours, ketosis kicks in. Your body starts producing ketones for fuel instead of using the sugar that's stored in the body. And it has to do that because you've used up what was in those sugar stores. So you've usually got 1,500 to 2,000 spare calories of sugar stored up in your body. So once you've burnt through that, then you're into, oh, hi, Mikey. Then you are into fat burning for energy. So you've switched on over to your other energy system. Now, don't touch the tripod, you. 48 hours plus, so 2 days, autophagy peaks and your body starts to repair damaged cells. So that's when your amazing body is scouring around looking for damaged, dying, cancerous, precancerous cells which it can get rid of and consume, use for energy, use to make ketones rather than the food which is usually coming in. The sun is setting, it's behind me like a halo. 72 hours, which we are now, 72 hours plus. Oh, don't do that, you won't be able to see anything. Your stem cells activate, deep healing and immune system reboot is on its way. Had to put my coat and hat back on. It gets chilly in Andorra when the sun goes down in February. This isn't woo-woo. It is backed by so much science. There are so many experts out there that you can listen to or read about who have researched this in great, great depth. There's so many studies available. Doctors like Dr. Sean O'Mara, who's done so much for educating people about the effects of visceral fat and how toxic it is. That's the fat in your middle, how it affects everything, how it affects all aspects of your health or lack thereof. Dr. Mindy Pelz, who with her book Fast Like a Girl has grown an enormous following of people who, you know, by teaching women how to fast correctly for women, because you do have to fast as a woman. It is different to the way that men can fast because we have more hormone activity going on. Dr. Eric Berg, Dr. Stefan Ekberg, there's so many of them that will back up what I'm saying. And how fasting helps with things like weight loss and reducing inflammation, your immune function, reclaiming your sleep, getting your hormones organised, getting your thyroid functioning properly again, Alzheimer's, dementia, longevity, all of these things can be impacted positively by fasting and particularly by prolonged fasting. So let's talk about dirty fasting, which is technically what I've been doing because I've been drinking black coffee. I've blended some butter into it. You could drink MCT oil, which is an alternative to butter, to put some saturated fat into the body. To get me through those really difficult times, I had a coffee each morning, and I've also had some of my homemade bone broth, which is mostly fat. It's obviously strained off, and it's just very rich in minerals, and also electrolytes and salt and iodine, which I take every morning. So I wasn't completely I haven't been completely zero calorie fasting. I've been dirty fasting. This means I'm allowed a small amount of pure fat-based calories each day. Doesn't technically break a fast or throw me out of ketosis. And I know because I've been measuring my ketones and checking, and I've also been measuring my blood sugar levels with my insulin monitor. I have an insulin monitor and a ketone monitor. So here we are, boys. We've got to hour 74. Let's have a look at what my blood sugar and ketones are doing. So make the hole first. Oh, come on. So prick my finger, squeeze a drop. Yes, there it is. So now, at 72 hours, I was starting to go into stem cell production. What's the blood sugar doing? I'll give you your tea in just a moment, Mr. Billy. 1.3. It's going up now. That is high for me. Blood sugar, don't expect that to be high. 83, nice. So there, see those two? That's 1.3 on the ketones and 83 on the blood sugar. And if it doesn't throw you out of ketosis, it's not technically breaking your fast, although purists might tell you that that's not real fasting, that's not pure fasting. But I know my ketones are high because the last time I checked, they were up at 1.3, which is really high for me because normally I don't get them anywhere above 1 on a 24-hour to 36-hour fast. Here's what I had, some black coffee blended with butter, just about an ounce, 30 grams a day for some extra fuel. A cup of my homemade strained fatty beef bone broth from grass-fed beef, which I made on Monday. I went to the doctor. I went to the butcher and got some good chunky beef bones, and I made some broth. And that's packed with collagen, minerals, and electrolytes. And I regularly check my ketones and my insulin levels with finger prick blood tests to track my metabolic state and confirm that I was actually staying in ketosis, and I was. So breaking the fast. Well, I haven't broken it yet. I'm going to push through and go to day 4. But when I do break my fast, I'm going to explain this. This is very important because it's actually just as important as the fast itself. I'm not going to break my fast by stuffing my face with a big heavy meal because it's not a good thing for your digestive system to having had a complete break from having to do anything at all to suddenly having to digest a big meal. It can give you a stomach upset, it can give you the runs, it can cause stomach pain. So rather than doing that, I will lower myself in gently by, first of all, having some homemade bone broth. That's gentle and nutrient-packed, full of those electrolytes, full of collagen and minerals. And then a couple of hours after that, I will move on to whole foods. And for me, that means protein-centric, protein first. I eat animal protein, so that's things like I'll probably go for grass-fed beef and healthy fats and no sugar. No starches, no sugars. And then back to my normal low-carb, primal-based way of eating, following on from that, just as normal. So you don't, the thing with the fast is because you don't feel hungry, you don't suddenly have to go and stuff your face and eat for a week. You just go back to your normal way of eating. But I do make sure that when I am eating that I'm eating enough, because it would be very easy once you get into fasting, prolonged fast, because they're easy to do once you've learned how to do that switch from fat burning, from sugar burning to fat burning. What I don't want to do is become anorexic. Obviously, I don't want to break down muscle. And the studies show that you won't break down muscle after like a 3 to 5 day fast. But I'm not taking any chances. I eat plenty of protein. I aim for between 100 and 120 grams of protein a day. And that can be from meat or fish or eggs, dairy. Those are the kind of things I eat. So, final thoughts. What have I learned from this experience? Well, I'm still in the experience. I'm going to push on to day 4. I know it's going to be easy because here we are now and I'm still fasting. Fasting is not as hard as you think. Most of it's mental, but lower yourself in gently. Start by prolonging if you're already an intermittent faster, then you're already halfway there. But just stretch out and longer until you can comfortably do 24 hours. Maybe eat a good breakfast and then fast through to the following day. But so it's comfortable for you, so it's not something, you're not just white knuckling it. Your hunger disappears, your body adapts, your energy actually increases after day 2, which is just phenomenal. And it's an incredible way to reset, to heal, and to take control of your health. And I'm going to be super interested to find out what, through this prolonged fast, what has actually healed, because your body will go after long-term chronic things which need to be fixed. And one of the things I have an issue with in my body is my right knee is painful because a horse fell on it when I was 33 and 32 and pregnant with my son. I say a horse fell on it, he reared up and flipped over backwards and landed on me, and I was on a road and I couldn't get out the way. So luckily, otherwise I wouldn't be here today, it just broke my anterior cruciate ligament, but it's been an achy knee ever since, and I can't fully extend it, I can't properly kneel down. So I'm hoping that that's going to improve. And likewise, my sacroiliac joint on the same side is a bit gripey. And that's it. Those are the two main things that I'm aware of. So I'm really hoping that this longer fast makes a difference. And maybe if it hasn't made a difference this time, the next time it will do, because your body will go after things that need to be healed. So it's going to go after the priorities first. It doesn't, there's not going to be, I can't decide the order of that. And would I do it again? Absolutely, 100%. Yes, I would. I'm so pleased, and I'm so happy about it. I mean, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling like, wow, I didn't even know I could do that, and here I am, and I've done it. And not only that, I've decided to go to 96 hours. Is that 4 days? 72? Yeah, 96 hours, 4 days. And you never know, I might even push on a little bit further, because that's when the real deep healing is happening now until I end this fast. I'm right there with that. I want those stem cells. I want that stem cell production for free. For free. Free stem cells. Just stop putting stuff in your mouth. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever done a water fast? How long did you do it for? How did it go? Let me know in the comments. And if you're thinking about fasting, but you're not sure whether to start, stick around. I'm going to share more tips, more science, and more personal experiences to help you on your health journey. I'll be doing another follow-up video to this one just to let you know how it went into day 4. And then if there was any, if I did actually notice any physical benefits, because I spent a long time just healing my gut, and that was my primary healing area. But now it's like tweaking. And the thing I most want to achieve is I want my stomach to be flat and not have loose skin on it. And I want the last of the cellulite on my tops of my thighs to be gone. And then I shall be a happy person in a bikini in the summer, being proud of my renovated body. Keep following me, because I will be doing more videos on this subject. And thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And bye for now.